everybody, it's Dana. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be making a few thank you cards. I'm a little bit stressed out from all this moving, so I thought I'd make a really pretty watercolor card. I think that will relax me. So I'm going to use this beautiful set here from My Favorite Things. This is called Written in Watercolor. I actually love this stamp set because I love the font that they used. I think it's very elegant, and I think it'll make a really pretty thank you card. As you can tell, there's a whole bunch of sentiments in that one, but like I said, I need to make thank you cards, so I'm going to use the thanks so much. I'm just going to line this up on my paper. I'm going to try to have my design all planned out actually before I start doing my watercoloring. And of course, the paper that I'm using is the Ranger Distressed watercolor paper. This happens to be one of my favorite watercolor papers because it has a smooth side and also a texture side. So today I'm actually going to use the smooth side of my paper. All right, I think I have the layout how I want it. Yep, I think that's what we're going to go with. So let me go ahead and remove the stamps out of the way now because we don't need them, and we're going to go ahead and start watercoloring. I'm going to use here, this is the Sakura watercolor palette. I've had this one for quite some time, and it actually seems to be my favorite because it's very portable. I can just take my watercolor brush, put it right in there, close the lid, and I'm good to go. I'm just going to make a palette off to the side, and you can see on some of the other areas that I had used those little squares. You have 5 of them there to like build your own palette. I went ahead and sped up the tape because this is going to be very long if you just sit here and watch me mix the colors. I'm going to use a reddy pink color, a yellow, and a blue. So I'm just going to be brushing on my color in random fashion. I'm not trying to be too perfect with this. I'm just trying to get down my color because it's going to have, by the time my card's done, it's going to have almost like a wide stripe kind of look instead of, you know, me having to be precise with everything. So I'm just going to finish up with my blue on the top. As you can see, I'm just really trying to get down the watercolor. This is going to be a really free-flowing card, nothing really fancy. Next, I'm going to start just adding some drops of each color onto my panel. Again, it's just really random, but what I like about this is it gives us color watermarks as well as regular watermarks because, as you know, if you add more water to the color background on the Tim Holtz paper, you actually get like water splotches, and that's what I was really trying to achieve with this look. So now all I need to do is heat set my panel, and we're going to be done with that. I think it came out really pretty, and it's a really fast and easy technique to do as well. It's not complicated to do, and because we have such a large color palette off to the side, we can mix a rainbow of colors on this. All right, so that is done. I'm going to move my stuff out of the way, kind of clean up my desktop a little bit, and then we're going to go ahead and release that panel. All right, so that's what it looks like. Pretty cool technique, right? All right, so next let's go ahead and start putting the card together. I'm going to go ahead and grab my MISTI tool because that's going to help me line everything up correctly. And as you heard me say before, I really like this new MISTI tool. It is really a genius idea, and for all of us stampers and crafters out there, this is a tool that I would highly recommend that you purchase and have in your stamp room. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and put down my sentiment. I'm going to line it up where I want it. That looks pretty good, and then I'm going to go ahead and grab my 2 hearts. Now, because this is a brand new stamp set, it's kind of sticky or tacky, I should say, but I'm just going to go ahead and work with this. It's just going to get stuck to my fingers a little bit, but that's all good. We're going to get past that. All right, everything's lined up, so now I can go ahead and pick everything up at once, which is the beauty of this tool, at one time. And like I said, the stamps are a little sticky, so. All right, so now I'm going to use this beautiful, it's like a gold embossing powder by Judikins. Absolutely love it. And I'm also going to use my embossing tool to make sure that none of my embossing powder actually sticks all over my watercolor panel. And for my ink, of course, I need to use Versamark, which is just a clear watermark ink, and that's going to be what holds my embossing powder in place. So I'm just going to make sure I get good coverage on that, and then I can just press it down. And I'm going to press pretty firmly because I want to make sure I get a good grip on there and I don't have to restamp it again. All right, now I'm going to grab a coffee filter. I like to have coffee filters in my stamp room because it's easier for me to transfer the embossing powder and pour it actually back into the container. Otherwise, you can use a piece of paper as well. Just go ahead and fold it in half and you can pour your embossing powder back in as well. This is just a little bit easier for me. So as you can see that this is a beautiful, beautiful gold embossing powder. But what's so great about this embossing powder, it also has little flecks of different colors in it as well. Once I heat set this, you'll be able to see it a little bit better. But I get great coverage from this embossing powder. So let's go ahead and get that out of the way because we don't want to blow all of that beautiful embossing powder all over my stamp. That's which I have done before. I think I've told you guys that before. I've done it before, so we don't want to mess it up though. All right, now I can go ahead and grab my heat tool and go ahead and start heat setting this. I always make sure to start my gun off of my paper to get it warmed up first before I actually take it to my paper. It also helps to melt the embossing powder a little bit faster. All right. So as you can see, look at that gorgeous gold. I'm going to bring it a little bit closer and see if you can see any of the different color specks in there as well. All right, now let's go ahead and start putting our card together. But first I'm going to trim down my card. This paper right here will be the exact size of a front of a card panel, and I'm going to trim that down just a little bit on all four sides, or actually probably only three sides I need to do with this one. Just going to go ahead and trim it down so actually I'll have a white border around my card from my card base, so I don't actually have to mat this. That's the point I guess I'm trying to say, is I don't have to mat this with another piece of paper. All right, so let me just get that one corner done. Take a look, and I'm just going to go ahead and cut off the one side first and see if I'm good with that. I'm going to go ahead and cut the other side too, just so I know that I'm even. I don't want to be off on my measurements on this one. All right, that looks better. Let's go ahead and get that out of the way. And there is the card panel. I cut around on all four sides and it looks great. All right, now we're going to go ahead and start preparing our card base. So I'm just going to use some white. This is the Nina Solar White 80-pound cardstock. I'm going to grab my Fiskars cutter and my bone folder, and that's going to give me a really nice crisp crease in my card. I mean, you can do this with other scoring tools as well to get yourself a nice crease. I just always happen to grab my cutter because it's handy and it's sitting right on my desk. All right, that's going to be a nice crease. So see what I said? I can have a white border all the way around. But I think I'm going to add a little bit of twist to this. I have some washi tape that actually has the same exact colors of my watercolor panel in the washi tape. So it's like has a whole bunch of flowers on it, and I really love the colors together. So I'm just going to go ahead and actually take one piece of the washi tape and actually just put it down one side of my card, just so I have a little bit more of texture per se on the back of the panel, and it's just not the blank white. Even though I will still be showing some of the white around the watercolor panel, this just kind of gives it just a tad bit of a pop of color behind just one side of the panel. So I'm going to go ahead and rip that off, and then I'm just going to grab my scissors. And I love these. I believe these are my Fiskars scissors. I love, love, love these little detailed scissors. Alrighty, so I can just go ahead and cut that off. And now it just adds a little pop right behind the panel. See, the colors match so pretty. I love, love, love these flowers. All right, now for my panel itself, I always like to use foam, fun foam, so I get an even, what I want to say, layer behind my panel. And you can do that with foam tape too, but it just eats up a lot of your foam tape. And to me, foam tape is a little bit precious, so I don't want to waste it. So if I can ever use the foam, the fun foam for larger panels, I like to use that instead. I like to hold on to my double stick foam tape, for smaller projects. All right, so we're nearing the end of this card. I'm just going to go ahead and grab my ATG gun. This is like a priceless thing in my stamp room. It's like my little buddy. I'm just going to go ahead and make sure I get a good enough amount of adhesive on the back so it will stick great to my fun foam. So I have a little bit of adhesive off the corners. I'm going to go ahead and push that back on to the back, and then I can push it down onto the fun foam. So it gives me a great sturdy surface, a really great sturdy surface, so everything is popped up evenly. All right, so now all I have to do is actually now put this panel onto our card base, and we will be done. So yes, I can say the stress is over. I had fun making this little card, and it was time for me to get a video up for you guys. I needed to show you guys some love and that I'm still here. I haven't gone anywhere, just really, really busy right now. All right, and there you have it. That is the card for today. I hope you guys would take some time to relax and breathe yourself. I want you to have a fantastic week, and I will see you guys back here soon. If you like what you saw today, make sure to give me a thumbs up on my video, and I will see you guys soon. Take care, but remember, go forth and be crafty.